Well, something very different. Have caught up with this gentleman in black and red a few times lately, Mr. Michael Bellman. Hello, Mickey.
Hello, Paulie.
We're having a tailgate party out the back of Maryborough Trots, anyone wondering, but I have teased about this interview a little bit. It's going to go up between the Christmas and New Year break, but one, congratulations on your year. You actually just drove another winner for Beck Morrissey, and she's just ticked off a nice little milestone. Every horse she's sent to the races has won, and you've had a contribution with that. But firstly, congratulations on the year that you've had. Pinch yourself sort of moment.
If you had said at the start of the year that we'd get 3 Group 1 winners, and basically we call it the Triple Crown, the Derby, the Vic Bred and the Breeders, we'd take it any day of the week. But when it, like what's gone into it, and you've been a big part of that as well, interviewing, and to your credit, didn't Moses and things like that. It's just, you sit back now a little bit now that the sting's come out of the season and it's starting to sort of hit, and he's not at home at the minute, he's gone out for a spell, and he's like giving one of your kids away. You miss him like crazy.
Well, he's Tracy and Gary's kid too. They're happy to have him at home. So.
Yeah, they look out the back door and there he is, was out with Jazz Spur. So he's got a good sparring partner to be out with, and hopefully they're having a good yak about how good they both were.
I get caught up in it myself. I quite often I'll catch up with all the winning people after the race, and we promote the winner, and we quite often get measured on the winners, and that's your only success. And you've got to, like for a driver or a trainer, if you trained 20 last year, you've got to train 22 and things along those lines. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves in this industry, and I think a lot of the times it's people like myself that put that pressure on us. We sat down at Bendigo that night, and basically I try to recheck myself quite regularly, but it was because on that night, that day at Redwood Day, one of the biggest trotting days that we can have, prize money aside, doesn't matter whether it was richer or poorer or whatever it was before, it's a time-honoured race that people want to be a part of that whole day. And you had 4 runners,
yep,
2 in Group 1 reigners. So for mine, already that day you're a winner.
I just love being part of those carnivals, and we try and support, like we just love having runners at Birchip because you just feel like you're part of the day, and we try and support Mount Gambier because they're a great cup meeting, and we try and get behind them because people that come for those 1 meetings a year, I've ended up getting a few horses to train because of them. They all love our rugs and love the way we present ourselves, and that's, we have to promote our own business, and that's actually got me a fair few horses to train just by the way we present them, regardless of the results on the track, and that means a little bit too when they come and people actually appreciate the effort that you put in.
That day, Redwood Day, though, you had a strong hand.
Yeah.
You would have been pretty happy with the results right across the board as it was, leaving away the Group 1 success. Presenting, having horses there, having people come past, congratulating you on having horses there, it does mean a lot more than we give it credit for sometimes, doesn't it?
Oh, well, it's just, I probably had 170 messages from people when I got back to my phone after the last, and a lot of people I'd sort of just walk past and say hello to, but never really have the time to have a conversation or get to know them. But for people to take time out of their day, watch the race, you don't realise when you're out there how many pubs and clubs have TABs, and the amount of people from all around Australia that messaged and said how great they got a kick out of it, and it was good to see the littler guys sort of win a feature race with the homegrown one. It gives them a bit of hope. Yeah, that makes me pretty proud.
It does. It gives a lot of hope, and we'll touch on a couple of those other stories in a sec. Let's go back. So before the Group 1, a lot of the time it was mentioned, people on microphones, people in press, saying he's never won a Group 1. I remember when I started this show off, you drove a horse for Lance, and I actually thought it was your Group 1 win, but
yeah, it was Rishi.
Yeah, and it wasn't, unfortunately.
It was a Group 2,
yeah. But it still meant a lot to you.
Yep.
How long have you been in the industry? How long have you been driving for?
I started when I was 16. I'm 44 now, so yeah, a long time. And had my trials licence at 15. And I got stopped for driving for a while. I was doing fast work at 9, and they brought in a rule that you couldn't work horses on a registered track. And because we trained at Ararat, a few of the locals at the time had a snout on Mum and did their best to hurt her by punishing me. So it wasn't until Al Pearson took over as chairman in charge that he stopped that, because I could turn 15 and go the next morning and get my trials licence, and I had no education whatsoever. And so it's been staggered journey. I probably could have walked away then when I got stopped for the 12 months or more, but hung in there, and that's all I sort of wanted to do. And I was lucky enough. I've worked for some nice people along the way, and had a lot of people help me along the way too. And as you know, you can't do anything like this without all them.
Without the people helping you.
Yeah.
When you were younger, like when you started trial driving and that, and Mum was still competing, and anyone that knew Mum knew she was ruthless. She'd be ruthless on the racetrack. I'm sure she was ruthless to get her backside off a seat as well. She wouldn't have been keen on giving you too many seats. You would have had to have earned them off.
I had to wait till she got suspended, which was pretty, for my welfare, it was more often than not that she was getting rubbed out. She was good at squaring up, but I had to just wait my opportunities and just make the most of them when you get them.
Did you have goals back then? Did you ever have a goal of, was it just basically you just wanted to drive?
No, I didn't really have any goals. I was like, you just hope that you could do it as a career because you love it and love being with the horses. And then I started getting a little bit better. I was probably like most juniors at the start. You look at them and go, "Whoa!" But then they either come out the other side or they don't. But I was just lucky that I just kept working and going to the trials every Sunday, whether I had drives or not, and just made the most of the opportunities. And the only goal I really set was I figured if I was good enough to be put on someone's horse, I didn't want to let them down by not giving it a good trip or giving it every opportunity. I was always fearful of copping a spray.
Yep, off the people?
Off the people, yeah, because I figure if they put their trust in you, it's your job to do the job, and I always made sure that if I made a mistake, I didn't make the same mistake twice.
Right. So that was your one goal, was not to get a spray?
just keep getting as many drives as I could. And I sort of don't reflect a lot probably on what I've achieved as much as what some other people in that do, but because you're always looking for that next achievement. But I just feel lucky that I've been able to do it for so long as a career. And I'm not the flashiest driver. I'm not the pin-up sort of to the likes. There've been some great juniors come and go by the wayside, but I've always figured I'd get further by working harder than them.
Did you ever achieve your goal? Have you not got a spray? Or did you
no, you drive for Mark Thompson and those blokes.
Got Tomo. Hey, Mark, if you're watching.
I hope he watches this because he'll kick the screen if he's watching.
He sprayed me as well.
Yeah.
Don't worry, he sprayed everyone.
If you haven't got the spray of Mark Thompson, you haven't driven. But and those things, sometimes you win them, you wear them, and that only makes you better if you're willing to let it make you better. But I've always never just wanted to let anyone down, and even with Meccano, like the pressure that you put on, it's more that you don't want to give him a bad trip, and you don't want to be the reason why he didn't get the accolades he deserved.
I say that before about you'd never driven a Group 1 winner. How many times would you have had a crack at it, like Group 1s? And when I say that, you can be driving a horse in 100 to 1, 150 to 1.
Yeah.
And they do win from time to time, but effectively you're against the odds. But how many live chances you reckon you would have had prior to Meccano getting across the line?
Probably Sergeant Lou was probably, I thought, was going to be my best chance in the Sydney Derby, and we didn't quite cross and get the front, and he ran a great fourth. And then I've had a couple of others that have gone next through. He went within a pimple of winning one night and thought he was a really good chance. But, I've had probably 100 goes or more at it. But, like, on homegrown horses that were just a privilege to make the final with them. And they were never a realistic hope. Like you say, you go around, if I had 5 Group 1 drives on the night, I think the best price one would have been $40. But... And all in all, it's just an honour to be in those races, and getting back to like those carnival days, it's just being seen to be in them.
Yep.
And like Uncle Wingnut, he ran 4th in a Hunter Cup one night, and to Kez when she won it, and I didn't think it got any better than that.
So did it start playing on you? Like, this was one of the things, and I think as an industry we can learn from it. Did it start playing on you that you weren't able to achieve the ultimate glory, if you like, that Group 1 glory? Was it starting to irk at you? I hate to tell you, but you are getting older.
Yeah.
Was it sort of getting to you?
It sort of not really got to me. I was driving Doug's Babe at the time, and I drove her all the way through her career, and then they sold her to America, and she got to the final, and when she changed ownership, they wanted Anthony Butt to drive her in the final. That was part of the deal because he'd done the deal and everything. And then she come out and won, and I'd sort of resided to the fact, well, that was my chance, and I'd sort of if it happened, it happened. If it didn't, it didn't. I'd still had a good career, and I'd still been lucky enough to make this my career for so long. So I hadn't given up hope that it had happened, but I just thought, well, I'm not going to be shattered if it doesn't. I'd sort of thought that was me time, and it had gone by the wayside. And then Jasper qualified for the final, and I had to drive her. And when Freddie Spiteri's good mare won, I had to relinquish the drive on her to drive my own, and it beat me in the Group 1. And I thought, well, there's two strikes, I'm sort of done. But I didn't sort of let it get to me. I just thought one day it'll happen. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
So mentally you're okay with it? You didn't go out, kick the ground and sort of swear and curse? No,
I'd figured, I was disappointed at the time to watch those horses, but also awfully proud of them at the time too, because you're part of their journey, and there's no good having sour grapes. You got to get better, not bitter. And still went and congratulated everyone, and was so wrapped for the owners because they were great people. And but I'd sort of resided to the fact, and I just thought, well, if it happens, it happens. And then when they changed the prize money limits, I thought, well, that's going to make it even harder again. Yeah, but you get up every morning hoping that you get that right horse.
You're known as a journeyman, probably just because you go everywhere. I think it's half of it. Now you are also one of the older drivers going around. Albeit 44 is not that old, but and as there was that stigma, I suppose, with it. Did you still come to the races with the same enthusiasm, potentially when things are getting to you?
Yeah, I've always been one, and I tell a lot of people that come and ask me for advice, and it gets back to all the pressure that you cop off social media and that now. Yeah. It's been the worst thing I think that's ever been introduced to racing.
There is good parts to it.
There is, but I've had a lot of juniors going through where they've copped random messages from people and it gets them down, and I've always figured you've got to leave your emotions at the gate. No one knows what sort of morning you've had. No one knows what's going on in the background of your life. And I figure that resembles you if you come to the track and you're having a bad day and you bring that with you. No one likes going to someone that's not approachable and doesn't seem to be enjoying it. So I've always left my emotions at the gate, whether I'm having a good day or other, and tried to treat it like that. And I think that's what's helped me along the way. I don't sweat on the small things. You can't change the past, and it's getting back to that not letting people down. If you make a mistake, make sure you don't do it again.
Yeah, own it.
Yeah.
Get on with it.
Yep.
Okay, winning a Group 1, now winning 3, but winning a group, does it change the way you look at it? Do you look back on those couple of moments you were saying there before where you missed out? Do you now look back and it not get to you as much, or are they still there in the back of your mind?
No, I'm just that thankful for the people that I get to spend most days with, and everyone, everyone felt part of that Group 1, that they all felt like they were on the journey with me, and to be able to pull it off and prove that you can do it on the big stage, and then repeat it again, it leaves you feeling pretty good. It definitely puts a spring in your step, that's for sure. But if I could have scripted it the way I've scripted it and have it with one of my own, and one that my owners have put the trust and everything into me to do, and just let me run my own ship to do it, I haven't had one person from the background say, you got to do it this way, that way or the other. I've just been able to do it with what works with our system, and to have Dad by my side and get to work with Dad every day, and Mum's always in the background if I ever needed her or whatever. She's always been there, and I'm so lucky that I've got so many people that I can bounce ideas off, whether it's with shoeing or things like that. I used to love going to Graham Lang and just talking to him, and why have you done that with that one's feet and things like that, and just put it in the memory bank because one day you might need to use it.
Yeah, it's exactly right. You have a lot of supporters. There'll be people that always, even when they see us, I reckon they hit like before they watch it. In fact, I know there's some people that actually do that. People like Beck East, though, people like from all different walks of life, they've supported you with their drive. Beck doesn't put you on every horse either.
No, she's got owners that want someone.
They mentally support you, say good day, always happy for you to achieve wins. Have you found more and more of those since you've got it, or have the loyal ones really come out of the skin?
The loyal ones will be there. They've been through that dark time when I had that 3-month hiatus. We won't go into that, but I've been lucky that I treat everyone like I want to be treated, and you get back to back east, like they say, I'm a journeyman and I work hard. I don't do night shift at a hospital and work 25 horses. Like,
she's crazy.
And it probably helps being in this game. But even, like, she's got to work Christmas night just so other people can have time with their kids. And it's a selfless acts from people like that you go, you know what, I'm lucky I don't have to go and work a job like that as well. And I get to drive her horses, and I wouldn't even think that we've even had a cross word about all the drives I've ever had for her. If I've driven a bad one, she'll just look at me and I'll go, oh no, and that's as far as it goes, and that's why we've had that relationship like we have. And even Beck today, like, we've done a lot of work with her babies over the time, and sometimes she looks at me when I do strange things and she doesn't go, what are you doing? Well, she asks, but she just goes, oh, well, it's on you if it doesn't work. And sometimes you got to think outside the square, and sometimes it comes off and sometimes it doesn't. But I've been lucky for so long. Like Terry Croton, when I'd done my claim and wasn't working for Kez and Andy at the time, he threw me a lifeline and kept me going. And even to this day, he come back into Jazz Spur and we had a great ride, and we've got memories of Adelaide and winning the South Australian Cup with Jazz Spur, and just the memories we've got from all the years of being with him. And he rings up once a week, and it's the friendships you get along the way. You go interstate now, and the friendships we got in Adelaide and Sydney and everywhere. Like I said, you just feel blessed that you can do it as a job.
Does the Group 1 give you a longer hunger? Now, for it, you had the horse in the Redwood that's got above average ability. I can't think of its name, and I can't
Zulu.
I have trouble pronouncing it as well. Since achieving it now, do you want it harder? Do you want more of them?
I've always been hungry for it. Probably changes your perspective when you've got Gary and Tracy breeding so many nice ones. The future's exciting because you now focus and you think, well, we've got these babies coming from these mares that we've produced and got through to nice grades and won South Australian Cups, and you're just hopeful that their foals come through. And I can't afford to go to the stallions that Gary and Trace go to, so for them to entrust me in training their stock and things like that, and Beck, like, she goes to good stallions, and she's got a great breed with Centurion, not Centurion Dream,
I know the
Canadian Dream,
yeah.
and we've got Wish Upon a Dream and Canadian Dream and that to come. So there's some exciting youngsters, and even her filly that won today, I think she's good enough to go to Sydney next year for the Oaks, and her speed's really, really good. We've just got to sort her manners a bit better, but there's a lot to look forward to. Beck East, she's breeding a fair few, Always Be Mickeys and a few of the better ones and things like that. So, yeah, like, we just hope, like everyone, that HRV can turn the ledger and get us back pointing in the right direction and race for a bit more money.
Now, last interview we did, you actually alluded to potentially walking away at one stage. How close did you come?
Yeah, very close. Just felt like I was going and getting nowhere. And not that I get frustrated, but I felt I was giving horses good trips and they just weren't getting any rewards, and it was such a long way back to get them into that rightful grade because of when the system started and to get to where their levels are. I think I went 4 weeks without even driving a winner, and I would have had God only knows how many drives, and you go on to work doing your best and nothing was happening, and then the prize monies was reduced, and you think, well, what's the point? And it comes back to Toby McKinnon a bit. One day he said to me, I was sitting with James Herbertson, he said, do you blokes realise that you're both on target to have your best seasons, winners-wise? And we were, and said, yeah. And he goes, well, you're both about 200 to 250,000 behind where you were in percentages. And we're working harder than we've ever worked. And I'd won a couple of Group 2s that year with Sergeant Lou, and I thought, that just can't be right. But when it was put in front of you and you look back on it, you're like, well, how do you sustain it? You only get one life. But as I said, then a horse comes along like Meccano and things turned around and started getting a bit better, and here we are today. But yeah, I was very close.
Are you a harness tragic?
Oh, I'm a harness tragic to the fact that I love seeing my friends and everyone that in the game that works so hard as what we do get the rewards like we're having a great run at the moment. But I love watching all the good horses. I still love watching Leap to Fame and all the good horses of the past, and you just can't help it if you're in it. Everyone wants to knock champions the best way they can, but champions are champions. I remember going as a kid watching Westburn Grant, and you're like, wow. And then I got to meet Vic through Karen and Grant, and we went to America with him and listening to his stories. And I love talking to Jimmy O'Sullivan about his great days that he had, and you're just like, wow, like imagine being part of that. And then you get a little taste of it through Meccano, and you're like, wow, this is really good.
Yeah. Let you go. Really do appreciate it. Well done. On the season that you've had, I think it's been bloody awesome. And as you said, I didn't moz you. I haven't mozzed a few people actually. I'm going okay. Pre-race interviews, but I think thank you for your time. Thank you for your honesty, and I think on behalf of so many people, I think well done. It's been an amazing ride, and I think congratulations to you, mate. It's awesome, and thanks for giving us a bit of an insight as well. I'm sure there'll be a lot of juniors out there probably second guessing themselves and what are they doing, but you never know what's around the corner. But you also got to be realistic, I think, in the way you approach things too.
Yeah. I have a lot of juniors come to me and ask for advice. As you say, I'm getting on a bit now, but
sad, isn't it?
It's always good, and I don't sort of not tell them or sugarcoat it, I suppose, because they need to be prepared for it. But at the end of the day, they're only going to get out of it what they put into it, and if you think it's going to get handed to you, you're awfully wrong. But like I said, there was many morning I come here on a Sunday and not have a drive, but I kept fronting up, and as much as I could have had a better life going with me mates on a Saturday night and playing up and having that social life, I decided to put this first. And yeah, it's taken 44 years, but we're starting to see the roots of the
28 years. I worked it out before, so you've only been in the game for 28.
Yeah, I'm 44 years, so I've been beaten drag from the time I was born.
Mate, well done. Thank you so much for giving us a bit of insight, but congratulations more importantly on the year. I really appreciate it. I was going to say Merry Christmas, but this is going to go up after Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's, but I do appreciate it, and I think that's one thing you are. You are honest, you're raw, you say it as it is, and we need it, and we need more people like you in this industry, mate, so thank you, and thanks for not giving up the game.
No worries, thanks, mate, and just thanks to everyone that have watched your videos and followed us and supported us and congratulated us. It's everyone's part of it, and yeah, like I said, just can't thank everyone enough, and yeah, let's keep getting some more winners.